The night was a soft wrap that was heavy with the kind of electricity that made the air hum. Somewhere in Los Angeles, a man stood atop the tallest skyscraper. His silhouette stood against a sharp moonlit sky. He was not just any man, he was the world's richest mega superhero. Whatever that title is supposed to weigh, it weighed more than what was in his bank account. He was not Tony Stark, Bruce Wayne, or Charles Xavier. He was not even a god like Thor. He was a made man, a self-made titan who turned his fortune into a weapon, his wealth into a shield, and his influence into a force that even the most powerful beings on Earth could not ignore. And now, he was about to face a threat powerful enough to make his wealth, humanity, and power unmatched. From whispers, the story escalates to powerful corridor chats, boardroom meetings with multi-billionaires, and the most powerful people in the underworld. They speak about a new player entering the omnifold world of marketing, the Eros. It makes even the richest superhero look like an invalid. They now possess enough power to gather all the information and secrets that could ruin combat empires, restructure architecture, destroy life and civilization as we know it. They pose no cape and gadgets nor flashy world. Rather, they cover themselves under a menacing cloth like shadow. Secrets are the reason the Oracle stand devoid of any superpowers. From invoking a sense of curiosity, all the riches are gathered in a mere thought. The Oracle had risen to power at an astonishing pace until he was too far successful for anyone to notice, and by the time the most technologically advanced superhero in the world set foot into the industry, he was already worth $500 billion, way more than the superhero himself. In a world where insane amounts of wealth seem like fantasy, the Oracle is rich beyond reason, and that provides a great deal of danger. Their wealth is not what puts the world at risk. It is the fact that they are not satisfied with just being rich and wants to control everything. In their quest for power, they would not hesitate to set the entire world ablaze. The Oracle, enemy of Cain, is something far more dangerous than a demolisher. An Oracle is someone who understands the disruption that can be caused through the information world and uses that to manipulate the economy while leading feelings of chaos. Just how Cain, a modern superhero, utilizes his wealth for good, the Oracle has the full understanding of his needs which would lead them to a battle. Unlike Cain, the Oracle does not assume themselves as a terrorist, maniac, alien, or a villain. Instead, they use technology to instill feelings of capitalism among the public, resulting in a monopoly on power, one which even Cain cannot get a full comprehension on. That is the world we live in. While Cain exploits people for a world devoid of any power, the Oracle uses information to forefront the unstable economy. In the end, both are surely placing more threat than benefits toward a world full of illusion. Cain was able to foresee the future. He accurately knew that medicine, technology advancement, space exploration, and energy can lead him to build an empire. Not solely his business attributes made him wealthy, but instead, being able to anticipate and lead in a world of illusion before man even understood the conceit. A week earlier, coordinated cyber attacks on major financial institutions around the world were the first warning sign. The consequences were catastrophic. Stock markets crashed, currencies started fluctuating, and panic ensued. Initially, it seemed as though some rogue hacker group was responsible, but Cain knew better. He had witnessed this before. The subtle fingerprints was the mark of someone who was clearly playing a much wider game. And when he looked more closely, he discovered a hidden gem. In the malware, Cain found a single line of code that sent chills down his spine. It read, "The age of heroes is over. The age of the Oracle has begun." In the last 7 days, Cain worked nonstop to try and find the Oracle. He used every server to contact governments, hired the best hackers in the world, and contacted other superheroes. But Cain's efforts were in vain, as the Oracle was always steps ahead, always hidden. It was almost as though they had mastered the art of stealth. Ocardis, as it seems like a frontier world in the digital landscape, was always just out of touch. While standing on that skyscraper, Cain had the most peculiar feeling. The city below him was that of a shining and glorious labyrinth, with glittering lights which gave off an illusion of day and night. To stretch on to infinity, The Oracle was somewhere waiting, plotting their next move, and Kane realized that he was on a tight schedule. He pulled the holographic display on his wrist which showed a 3D map of the city. The map located in front of him with red markers, each one waiting to be stalked. Potential leads to the Oracle's location were scattered, and there were dozens of them. Kane had already ruled out a lot of them, but one marker stood out. It was located downtown, at the heart of a world-renowned technology company. It was a building that Kane immediately recognized. It was a building let to one of the rival technology corporations that had been strategically trying to outmaneuver him. A trap was set for him which Kane was sure of. It was a trap and he was in the palm of the Oracle, and all they had to do was eat. Kane had to make a decision. If he did not act now, he would have waited too long. The Oracle was already stronger and dangerous, and the more he afforded to wait, the more drastic the consequences. He reached for his wrist and turned off the hologram, stepping near the edge of the rooftop. The wind howled around him and pulled his jacket as he gazed at the city. He thought for a moment, and then realized the countless options he had available. Finally, he took a big breath, activated the thrusters on his boots, and dove into the infinite abyss. As the city approached, reality transformed into a pixelated blur of color and noise in the backdrop of him. With utmost focus, he angled his body, propelling himself towards the goal in his mind. He understood that his destination was a mystery, but one certain thing was with him. It was the start. The fight with the Oracle was preparing to go into a whole different level, and the consequences this time were grave. An adrenaline rush accompanied him as he touched the rooftop of the building. The certainty of facing danger head-on brought him exhilaration. The thrill was accompanied with danger, which was a sensation he was already familiar with. Each of his made steps towards the access door was calculated, thus it was unlocked. However, this presented no issues for him. He retrieved a small device from his belt and pressed it against the keypad. It immediately clicked open the door, and he unclipped his belt and stepped inside. The inside of the building was willingly quiet. This kind of silence was the big difference in set. Hairs at the back of his neck standing up. With his focused muscles, he continuously moved through the corridors with ease. He did not have an aim in mind, nor did he know what he was looking for, but he was certain he would recognize it when he encountered it. And then he began to. He found a set of stairs at the end of the hallway, which led him towards a door he was fond of. It was conspicuously ajar, radiating with a faint glow alongside it. While hovering his hand over the weapon attached to his side, he began walking carefully toward the door. Exiting him revealed a unique room, unlike anything he had seen before. Screens crowded the walls all around, each displaying a wide range of disorienting data such as stock prices, news, social media, and much more. In the center was a head table surrounded by chairs and covered in holograms, which kept shifting with every passing second. In the midst of it, a figure stood with his back facing him,